on Python Pandas series. Today, the last day we had discussed about different kinds of data structures which are available in Pandas, namely data series and data frame. And we in detail discussed about data series, and we discussed about its properties, and we also discussed about how to initialize a series and what are the methods which we can use to provide data into a Python Pandas series. So we had discussed how to make an empty series and how to make a series with using a Python list. So when we discussed about having empty series, we saw that the syntax is pandas dot series, and without providing any kind of a data, right? For Python list, when we discussed about Python list, this is just to revise what we had done in the last video, recapitulate with all the things which we had revised in the last video. For using a Python's list to initialize the data of the pandas series, we can provide the syntax as pandas dot series. Then we provide the list of data, and then we provide the index. That is also a list of index values, and that can be anything, integers, strings, or anything, right? Today we are going to discuss about the rest of the three. We'll first discuss about NumPy array, and then we'll discuss about Python dictionary and scalar values. So let's jump right into it without wasting any more time. So first we are going to do something as initialize using a NumPy array. Now, you know that using a NumPy array is pretty simple. As I told you in the first video itself, that you need to have some kind of pre-required knowledge about NumPy. And to do that, I'm just going to tell you about how to do it using a NumPy array. So we'll use the same list as we used in list array, and we are going to create a NumPy array n. Okay, and we are going to write np dot array, and then we are going to provide the list. Once we provide the list, if we create the NumPy series, so what we'll do, we'll just provide the NumPy series and provide the indexes with it. It's exactly same as using a normal Python list. It works in exactly the same manner. So if we try to print the similar things, so we print the total series, and then we print one of the elements, that is the 38th, the third element, the cth element of the list, will find cth element of the NumPy array, the series using an NumPy array will see the same results. Let's see. Oh, my mistake. The array should be of a small letter a. See, using this, we find that the series has same values as the others, right? Yeah, so this is kind of neat. Another thing is that we know that in NumPy array we get a lot of opportunities to work with NumPy array, and different ways are there to create a NumPy array. So all kinds of NumPy arrays will work here. We have to just make sure that this NumPy array is one dimensional. One dimensional. We just have to ensure that. So if you want to create a one dimensional array, how many methods do we have? We have many kinds of methods which we can use. One is NumPy dot array, as we saw, and we used a list, right? Then second is numpy dot arrange, and then we can provide a low value, a high value, and if required a step value to provide a numpy array with elements starting from low, ending at high minus 1, with with steps as steps provided by the step value, right? So we can use arrange, or we can use another method like numpy dot ones, and then we provide the number of values. Number of elements we want to provide. Same goes for numpy dot zeros and numpy dot full, where you can use the number of elements and then which value, or we can just say value. So these are some of the very easy methods which you can use to create numpy arrays, and using all the 5 kinds we have written here, 1 2 3 4 5 kinds of numpy arrays which we have written here, we can use any one of them and we can create a how do I put it, we can create a series, numpy series, a series using a numpy array, right? So I accidentally deleted the list, and that's why there was an error in the program. So we can use any of the 5 methods of an numpy array and create a series using that. Okay, so let's quickly move on to our next topic. I won't drag on with this too much. I guess if you want to know more about numpy array, then I'll create another series for which is specifically based on numpy array, and that will be focused generally for CBSE class 11 students, but it can be again accessed by any of the people who wants to know about numpy array from basics. So I will create a separate series, separate playlist for numpy arrays there. So let's quickly move on to dictionaries. So basically what is happening is we are going to keep the structure the same. Okay, this part of the structure will remain the same, and we'll just deal with how to initialize with different types of data, Okay, so we have already done numpy array. Once we are done with numpy array, what we are going to do is we are going to use a Python dictionary to create a series. Okay, so this is going to be really interesting because this is a little bit different from the method of list and the method of numpy array. Okay, so we'll just, it's almost the same, but it is just a little bit different. I'll tell you how. So we'll first create a dictionary. Okay, suppose we create a dictionary with the values 1 and 10, then 2 and 20, then 3, 30, 4, 40, 5, 50. So this is a basic dictionary which we have created. Okay, now if you want to create a series using a dictionary, we just have to give the name of the dictionary and we'll create the dictionary as and when required. Okay, so we'll come into this later. See, once we have done that, so this is the dictionary which we have used, and with the dictionary we have created the series, and the series looks like it starts with 1 because what happens is during this series, using a dictionary, what it does is it very simply uses the keys as the index values or index labels and the values as the data field, data for the series. Okay, so it basically what it does is, as I said, it uses the keys of the index keys in the dictionary. Which are the keys here? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the 5 keys: 1, 2, 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are the 5 keys. And what are the values? 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. These are the 5 values which we have, right? So what it does is it assigns all the key values in the index level and the values of the key value pair into the data part of the series. So it directly does that. You do not have to provide anything. Now, using this, that simplifies a lot of stuff. So we do not need to provide uh, our ordering of or our we can provide here whichever kind of index values we want to, and we do not need to provide the index position in the series. Let me show you. If we give A and then in place of 2 we provide B, in place of 3 we provide C, in place of 4 we provide D, and in place of 5 provide E, and we run the same program, we'll find that the index positions have already changed as A, B, C, D and E, right? So it is very simple. It's very, very simple. Now, when we are discussing about Python dictionary to create a series, we have to discuss about a few more things. What are the few more things we need to discuss? Do we really not need the index position there or the index labels? This is the first question we need to ask. Do we need to provide this, or do we not need to provide this? If we have the ability of giving user defined index values from the dictionary itself, so do we need index values like this, or can we use it some other way also, or we can avoid index values? That is what I'm basically asking. So for answering that question, I will just show you a very interesting thing. Okay, what the dictionary has as an advantage for us is that if we give the index position like this, if we are writing this, then it gives us a very dynamic way of creating a series. A very different kinds of series can be created using this. How? Let me show you. If suppose the dictionary has the values as A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E, but we want it in different order, right? If we want it in a different order, we know the dictionary is not ordered, so it can take any random order in the series, but we want it in a specific order, right? If we want to do that, we just have to provide the name of the indexes so that it arranges according to the index values provided in the series. How? Suppose we want the series to have values in this order. We want B, then D, then C, then E, then A. We want this order, right? If you want this order, then we'll provide the same order here. B, D, then C, then E, and then A. Finally, we provide A. And now when we run it, we'll find that it will correspond to each of the values of the index value. So B will correspond to the B in the dictionary, find its value and place it in the first position. B20 will be the first entry in the series. Then there is D. So D will then correspond to the value provided in the dictionary for D, that is 40, and it will come second in the list because we provided as the second index in the series. So that is why in the series it will come in the second position. Then similarly C, E and A will follow with its corresponding values in the order as provided in the list of indexes, right? This is one thing which we can majorly find out in the series. Okay, Another interesting thing which we can do using a dictionary is that we can specifically say that I don't want some of the index value. Suppose we do not want this D value. So we can just remove it. Suppose we do not want the A value as well. Okay. So we can just simply remove it, and we want B, C and E in the order of D, C and E, right? So if we run this program now, the series will only contain 3 values with the corresponding indexes as B, C and E. B will contain 20, C will contain 30 and E will contain 50, as you can see in the output. Okay, so this gives me a flexibility to work with dictionaries. The dictionary gives me the flexibility to work with series in different kind of ways, such as we can provide index values if required. If you want to include the complete dictionary, we do not need to provide any kind of index values. But if we want to provide the complete dictionary in a specific order, then we have to provide the order which is there in the which we want to provide in the index list, right? And it also gives us the flexibility of removing the unwanted key value pairs which we do not want to show in the, we do not want to import into the data series. Am I making myself clear? Okay, now I want to discuss about another very important topic. When we are on the topic of Python dictionary, we can explain this very simply. We will again approach this topic when we do data frame, but I want to approach it now so that you do not have any kind of issues or questions when we are doing data frame, because that is a big chunk and that is a little bit more difficult to understand than a series. So I want to cover the basics and all the terminologies now rather than implementing it and introducing it at the time of doing a difficult topic. So the topic I want to introduce now is, what if you know that there can be none values in a Python list, right? There can be none values in Python dictionaries as well. So rather than providing 30 at C position, I can provide a none value. I can basically provide a none value. Now, what if we provide a none value at a place where there is no in a dictionary, and we have to import that value into the Panda series? So if we run it now, you see there's a magic that has happened. There is something which came up for the corresponding index value C, because at the C position we had provided none value, and something magical came up here. It's written as NaN. Okay, so this is basically a none value which is specific to Python pandas and to NumPy arrays. So this is basically a NumPy none value, a value which a none value which is there in the NumPy library. So when we are using pandas, we have some of the values taken from the NumPy library inside the pandas library as well. One of those values is the none value, which is specifically meant for a NumPy array. Okay, in the NumPy module, this none value has been provided, and this none value looks like NaN. Now, one very important thing to note here is that although this is a none value, you see that the data type, we had already discussed that series can have only one type of value. Okay, it is a homogeneous data structure, so it will have only one type of value. There can't be integers, float values and string values or empty values at the same place. But here we see that we have values as well as empty values into the same series. So how do we implement that? How are we implementing this? How is Python understanding that this is a empty value and still able to create a data series? You see that here the data type has been shown as float64. This is a very important point to note. The data type is shown as float64. Now, where have we seen this before? We have seen this before when we created an empty list, an empty series. So we had told that by default, the data type of a series is float 64, right? So if we have talked about by default the data type of the series is float 64, why is it showing up when there's a none value which is in the dictionary? It is very simple. Because of this none value, as I told you, is a part of the NumPy module, and in the NumPy module this none value is basically said that although it does not contain any kind of value, but the data type of this none value will be a float. Once the data type of the none value has been decided as float, all the other integer values, because we see that whenever we were doing the program earlier, we saw that the data type was showing us int 64. So once there is a none value introduced, and we had told that in NumPy this none value is of the data type float 64, so it will convert the other integer values into float values, right? So it will convert 20 into 20.0, that is a float, and 50 into 50.0, another float value, and the complete series will be of the data type float 64 now. Good. Now there can be other ways of introducing this none value as well. Suppose we have 30 here. Okay, we have 30 here. We are not changing the dictionary, and if we run, we'll find that it is pretty simply running the same program, and it is giving me 20, 30 and 50 for the corresponding integers b, c and e for the corresponding indexes, right? What if I want to provide another index position here, but that index position doesn't really exist in the dictionary which has been previously defined? For example, we provide an index position, suppose as x. Now this x index position is not previously present in the dictionary, but we are trying to import that value into the series, right? Once we try to do that, it will try to find this x key value in the dictionary, in the data field which has been provided in the series. It will not find it, but Python is smart enough to not give any kind of error. It will say, okay, you want to find the value for the index position x, but that index position is not defined in the dictionary. So if nothing is defined for a specific value in a series, it will simply replace it with a none value. See, the x position now has a NaN, the none value for pandas series. Am I making myself clear? It should be very simple to understand. Okay, this is a very simple topic to understand. Now, once we are on this topic and we have understood this topic, you can, if I'm going too fast, you can just repeat, you can just pause the video, repeat it, go to the back point and listen to this topic again. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section below, but I will continue. Okay, but I won't continue before I give you a task. I'll give you a small task. Okay, so let me have a program for you. Let me have this program. Dict1 is equal to so let us create a dictionary of type dict1 which contains the name of some of the players and the runs they have scored in a specific match. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to create a series. But not one series, I want to create two series. One is I want to the first series will contain dict1 with index values as Ganguly, Dhoni, and Sachin. The first index positions will be this. Let me create another series. It will also use Dict1 as its data, and it will contain the index values MSD, Ganguly, and Dravid. Okay, now you have to give me the output of this. You have to give me the output of this question. Okay, you can pause the video and you can tell me the answer in the comment section below. So this is your task. Will you do it? I guess you can do it. So we'll end this topic today with the last method of initializing a Python series, Pandas series, but this time we'll use a scalar value to initialize the value. Okay, so let us do something first. Let us go to our notes and we'll just provide the syntaxes as we were doing. Pandas.series, then we provide the dictionary, and then we provide the index values. Okay, for NumPy array one dimensional, our series was pandas.series numpy.array of list, and then we could provide the index values. We may or may not provide this. This is unnecessary. Like, this is optional for you. Okay, so one thing which is left here is the scalar value. Okay, so how do we implement a scalar value here? Very simple it is. Okay, so you have noted down this this program, right? We'll discuss about this program uh, in the next video. Okay, we'll discuss the solution of this program in the next video. So you keep an eye, you keep a screenshot of this, or you write it down somewhere, pause the video, solve the solution, do it in a Python programming code if you have a Python interpreter. If you don't have a Python interpreter, then you can install it on somewhere, or you can do it on pen and paper and find out what should be the answer of this question. Okay, so let's just move into using a initializing using a Python scalar value. Okay, initializing using a scalar value. So what is basically a scalar value? Scalar value is nothing but any kind of a constant value which is there, which can be an integer, which can be a float value, or anything. Okay, so basically a scalar value is, we can define it inside a normal integer variable. Suppose a is equal to 10. This is my scalar value. A is the scalar value, or let's name it scalar. This will give us a beautiful look to it. Okay, now when we try to create the series out of it, we can just say scalar series is equal to pd dot series. Mind you, series is always with a capital S, and we provide the scalar value to it. Once we do that, the series is basically created. Now, what would basically happen? What do you think should be the case? We have one scalar value in a series. So if you have one scalar value in a series, obviously the series should contain only one value. That value should be the same value as the scalar value. It's very simple till now. And we know that series always has a index position. Now the index position is not mentioned, so we know that the first index position inside a series is always 0. So if the index position of the first position is 0 and the value is the scalar value, so obviously the series would contain only one data with the value 0, 10. Let's see. Oh, we have not printed it. Print scalar series. Once we do that, we see that there is only one value 0, 10, or 0 is the index position 10, and the data type is int 64. And that's it. The scalar value works like this. But there's only one small thing which I want to add here. Suppose you want to provide index position. Okay, you want to provide an index position. So you might be thinking that, okay, if you provide an index position, what better would it be if I provide an index position A? But I would say you look at what I'm coding and tell me if it is right or wrong. I am giving out more than one index positions. I'm providing more than one index positions. Now, is it correct or wrong? This piece of code is absolutely correct. It won't have any kind of issues. As I told you, Python series or Pandas series is a very smart module. Pandas is a very smart module. What it does is it looks for opportunities to fill the places. Now, as we had discussed during the dictionary point, you might be thinking that, okay, only one scalar value is possible. So only one index value can have the scalar value. The other positions should have none values, B, C, and D. It should have none values. But Pandas is very clever. What it does is, when it sees that it is just a scalar value and not a one element list or a one element numpy array or a one element dictionary, one item dictionary, and it is a simple scalar value, what it would do is it would simply copy the scalar value into all the index positions which are given in the index list. Let's see. You see A, B, C, and D, all the positions will have now 10. All the positions will now contain 10 because 10 was a scalar value and we had provided 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 index positions we had provided. So 10 will be copied at 4 index positions. Okay, it was very, very simple. I don't think that there is going to be any kind of an issue understanding all the 4 methods of initializing an array. So for a scalar value, what do we need to do? We just need to provide the syntax as pandas dot series, and then we provide the scalar value, and then we can provide the list of indexes and the scalar value will be copied at all the index positions which are provided in the list of index values. Okay, I hope this is clear. This was very simple. The next day, in the next episode, we will be talking about operations which can be performed using pandas series. Okay, this is the topic we'll be discussing on the next day.